Imagine living in your own home for more than a decade, rarely leaving, refusing medical appointments, and slowly becoming unwell, while those around you watch, worry, but cannot force you to seek help. In fact, they feel helpless. One day, a family member arrives to deliver groceries and finds you collapsed. There are no signs of violence, no evidence of foul play, just one question hanging in the air. What happened? Today, we'll follow the post-mortem examination that uncover the answer and the lessons it has for all of us. Welcome to Beyond the Autopsy, where the dead teach the living. The deceased was a man in his 70s who lived alone. He had a history of heavy smoking and heavy alcohol consumption. Over many years, he became increasingly socially isolated. Despite his family's concern, he refused to leave his home or attend any medical appointments. With little or no choice, his relatives continued to support him by bringing food and essential supplies while respecting his wishes. They noticed changes in his health, but still respected his decisions. Then one afternoon, he was found collapsed at home. The police attended the scene. There was no evidence of forced entry, no signs of assault, no suspicious circumstances. So why did he die? Many people believe that postmortem examinations are carried out when a crime is suspected. In reality, they are often performed to establish the medical cause of death and to provide answers for families. This examination would reveal a disease that had been silently progressing for years. When we got into the autopsy theater, the body showed no significant injuries. However, there was one feature that stood out. What was it? It was his weight. He weighed 54 kilograms. His body mass index was approximately 17.5. That was a bit concerning because that put him in the underweight category. But the reason for this weight loss or this weight was still unknown. Internally, the heart was examined. Surprisingly, there was no severe coronary artery disease. There was no evidence of a heart attack. The lungs showed no blood clots, nothing immediately explaining the death. Then the attention turned to the bowel. There, a large mass was discovered arising from the rectum. Now, this was no small mass. It measured about 14 centimeters. It had also extended itself to the surrounding tissues, including the prostate. It looked like an advanced disease. The examination continued to the liver. Instead of healthy liver tissue, there were multiple large masses throughout the organ. One of these occupied much of the left lobe. Several other smaller masses were scattered throughout the right lobe. These findings suggested that the cancer had spread. But pathology never relies on appearances alone. The microscope would provide the answer. What did the microscope reveal? Small tissue samples were examined under the microscope. The mass from the rectum, as suspected, showed cancer. The masses in the liver proved to be metastatic colorectal cancer. In simple terms, the cancer that began in the rectum had traveled, most likely through the bloodstream, and established deposits in the liver. By this stage, the disease was widespread. The body had very little physiological reserve left. The final opinion and cause of death was simple: metastatic colorectal carcinoma arising from a primary rectal tumor. The advanced cancer alone provided a complete medical explanation. This was a natural death. What can we learn? Perhaps the most important lesson from this case is not about pathology. It's about access to care and engagement with healthcare. Colorectal cancer often develops slowly. Symptoms include changes in bowel habits, rectal bleeding, constant abdominal pain, or a mass in the tummy. Signs should never be ignored. In the United Kingdom, the National Health Service Bowel Cancer Screening Program invites eligible adults for bowel cancer screening using a home testing kit. This program is designed to detect early signs of bowel cancer or precancerous stages before symptoms develop fully. Participating in screening when invited and seeking medical attention promptly if symptoms occur can lead to earlier diagnosis and significantly improve outcomes. This case also reminds us that while families can encourage loved ones to seek help, adults with decision-making capacity ultimately have the right to refuse medical care. Family members may recognize warning signs, but can't force someone with capacity to seek medical attention. Sometimes, medicine can only explain what happened after it is too late. Every post-mortem tells two stories. One explains how a person died. The other teaches the living how disease can be recognized, prevented, or treated. In fact, it teaches us how we might live. This is Beyond the Autopsy, where the dead teach the living.